Welcome, and in today's training we're going to look at the use of Gmail, contacts and a new app called Groups. So first of all, I'm going to take you into your Gmail account. What you're going to see is how you can set up your signatures and some of the little background things that you can do that are going to help you with using your account. So when you go into Gmail, you go into your inbox, you'll see on the side here that you can get to the settings. Now on the settings, if you click on the cog, you can see all settings. If you go in here, you're going to look under this general tab. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to this idea of undo send. Now, how many times have you sent an email and suddenly realized that you shouldn't have pressed send and you want to recall the email? Well, the good thing with Gmail is that it gives you 5 seconds by default for you to recall or undo the send. So when you send an email, it comes up with a little message at the bottom, a black notification, and it tells you that you can undo. So you're normally given 5 seconds, but the little trick is here under settings, you can extend that period of time from 5, 10, 20, or up to 30 seconds. So choose however long you want to do. You can also, by looking down here, you can also change your font that you may want to use as a default font, and the color and the size. So you can do all that. And then if you keep scrolling down, you will see here that you can change the color of the stars and all sorts of things. But you can set up a signature. So I already have a signature set up here. I'm going to create a new one today, and it's going to be another test. I'm going to create that. I start then typing in the signature box here. So you'll need your name and your position. And the year. Then you want to actually add a photo. So you go to insert images. Now you'll notice mine will come up with the logos already there because I've uploaded them a couple of times. But if you go to upload, select from your device, it will take you to the folder that you want, and you click on the logo that you want. Now these logos that we're putting in, which I've sent you via your emails, they're very large images, so they take a little while to come up, but I can see that it's in there because the grey bars have appeared. It is a huge file, so there we can see that it is, but if I click on it, then it comes up with this little message along the bottom, and if I select small, ta-da, there is the logo in small. Now next to it, I want to add the international theme for the year. For you, I would go to upload, select a file from your device, go to the folder where you've saved the one that I've sent you. Now don't panic, it looks like it's got a black background, and that's because I've sent you the PNG, which means that it's going to have a transparent background. On your signatures, it's not going to look black at all. This one takes a little while to actually load up because it is huge, very huge. Here it has actually appeared. I click on it and I make it small, and ta-da, it is there. Now the next thing you may want to put onto your email signature is the website address. So www.innerwheel.org.nz, and then you want to link it so that someone actually clicks on that and it goes to the website. So you highlight it by dragging and clicking the mouse over it, click the link button, and it automatically comes up with the link. So there you can do that. Now let's say you want it to just say the IWNZ website instead. So you then put that on there, you highlight it, go to link, and then it comes up here with a spot that you can put in the website address, and it is set as an address, but it's linked to the words. So someone just clicks on those words and it takes them to the website. I'm going to delete that for now. So I want to actually make my name a different color. So I highlight my name, I go to text color, and I'm going to choose to have me in that blue, and I want to be bold. Those letters can be in, let's put them in pink to see, just for a little bit of fun, and see what it looks like. I may also want to put my phone number on there because I just want to have it there. So I've played around with my signature and I've got it to be how I want it to be. And now I need to go down and I have to actually assign that signature to the emails. So you'll see down here, yours will actually be set with no signature if you're starting from scratch. So for new emails, you want it to use, I'm going to use test 2 because we know that that's the bright pink. I'll keep it with no signatures on my replies and forwards for the time being. And then I need to remember to save my changes. So I'm now going to save my changes. It's going to take me back to my inbox. And I'm going to compose a new email. There it is with the signature with the bright pink Vice President words. So I know that that's the one that I had just set up. So it happens and it works instantaneously. Now, another thing in the settings area, you go into all settings, or you can use the shortcuts that were in the front. I'll go back to that in a minute. You can go across here. There's a whole lot of other settings and things that you can look at, but the one you might be interested in is to go to themes, and you can set a theme. We tried last night loading an inner wheel logo so that we could have that as the backdrop on the emails, and I don't know what you think, but I think that that's maybe a little bit too bold for me. So I'm going to choose something that is a little less bright. It might be something like that, or just a plain color. Or a lovely picture here. So I can choose whatever I like to have as my background and my theme for the Gmail account. I'm going straight back to the plain white for the time being. I'll probably choose something bright and pink later on. So I've chosen my theme. Now I'm back in my inbox. Just a little quick thing. If I want to go to settings, you'll see down here, I can change the way that that my inbox looks from default to comfortable to compact. I like the comfortable one. I can change my theme here by clicking on the images there that are set up, and I can choose how I have my inbox organized. So if I say important first, it's because I've starred an email to say that that's important. So if I click on important first, then it will put all the important emails at the top and everything else goes down below. I just prefer the default. And so you can put your unread emails or your starred emails first and everything else down below, or your unread emails first. I don't have any unread ones at the moment, but you can choose how you want your inbox to be organized. So that's by just clicking on the settings button. Now you'll see down the side here, these are my labels, and in my labels I have everything filed. So I personally try not to sit with too many emails in my inbox. I try and file them away into my labels. So what I can do, if I scroll down here and I go to more, it shows me more. I noticed the other day that I did actually get some spam, and that was because I sent myself an email from my personal email address, and it's come from outside the organization, so it didn't like that. So I would just check there every now and then in case there's something sitting in spam. I want to create a new, if I want to create a new label, I hit create new label, and I can set one up with test. Now, I've just set that up as a test, but I actually want to give it a color or make it stand out a little bit more. There's currently nothing in it. Oops. There's currently nothing in it. So when I go to it, you'll see that there's the 3 little dots on the side. If I click on those, I can choose to color that label so it turns up with a yellow dot. That's where I can add a sub-label. So a sub-label can sit underneath it. So it is test 2 is going to nest under test 1 or test. I'm going to remove that label now and delete it. Now I'm going to go back to my inbox, and I've got some emails sitting there that are tests. So I'm going to take that one, I highlight it, I click it on the side. I then go across the top here, and I can move to, and I can choose the label to move it to, and there it goes. It's gone into test. So here it is here now. So that's a bit of fun. If you ever come back to look at my inbox at another time, you'll probably find I've color coded everything. I also like to use stars. So I star emails. So if something's really important, I'll star it, because I know for me that's a message that I need to go back and actually action it and do something with it. So that's your Gmail account, and just playing around with a little bit and getting things organized. Now I'm going to look at your contacts, because it's great to have an email account, but what happens to all the contacts that you want to be able to email easily? Now we have the National Directory. From the National Directory, the National Secretary Judy and I have taken every single contact that is in there, and we've created a spreadsheet. Now the spreadsheet has also been updated with the corrections that need to have been made, because already some of them were out of date once that had gone to print. So we've made all the corrections that are needed, and we've created a CSV file, which is like a spreadsheet, but it's just done in a format that when we put it into import it into our contacts here, you're now going to be able to import every single contact from the Inner Wheel New Zealand directory. So I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to sort it out. You can click on import contacts from here or from here. You then go to select file, and I just happen to have it open already because it knew that I was going there. So you find the file that you want, which is the IWNZ contacts 1st of July 2020 c.csv, and then you go import, and within a couple of seconds it's going to bang appear with 295 contacts. Now, that's a little bit scary. If you now, instead of clicking and looking at it through the side here from the imported, if you go to contacts, I've actually previously starred everything that is for anyone that has a national or a district address. So they're going to come in your starred box and sit at the top there. Now, what I also suggest you now do is, if you're a district, hold a district position, the likelihood is that you're only going to need the people in the clubs that are holding that role that you take. So for example, if you're district treasurer, you'll want to have the email addresses for all of the district, for all the club treasurers, for all of your district executive, and maybe a couple of national, like the national treasurer. So what you can do is you can create a label. So if you create a label, which is going to be national contacts, and save that. Then you can go through this list here where I've already done them, and you'll see anywhere that has an IWNZ written in front of it is a national position holder or an associate. So I can click on all of those. And those are all the IWNZ ones. And so then I've clicked on the ones that I want. I then go across the top here to manage labels, and I click on national contacts and apply it to that. So then I just click the minus sign to say I don't want those anymore. Now I'm going to create another contact list, and that's going to be my district executive. So I say I'm an NZ291. So if I was on the exec, if I had a position in NZ291, I may want to just get all the NZ291 exec team together for an email. So I go through, I've got here secretary. And then I go up to manage labels, and I add them to that label, which is the district exec NZ291. So now I can see that they sit in there and they're organized in there. The other thing is that if I go back to all contacts, sorry, at the top here. So the other thing is that if I'm in NZ294 and I don't need to have all the contact details for all the people that are in the other 3 districts and some of the national roles. I don't need them. I'm the treasurer for NZ294. I want to now just go through anyone that is not immediately needed by me. I can delete them. I don't need to have the president or the treasurer of clubs that are not in my district. So I can select those people. So as I said, I'm NZ294. So I'm just going to go through Wairarapa, that's NZ294. So I'm going to go through all of these, except I might keep some of the IWNZ positions because they'll be handy to have and just in case I need them. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete, and it could take you a little while because there's 295 to go through. So just go through and read everybody and put a little arrow next to the ones that you no longer need. And then you go to the top here and it says more actions and you delete them. Just so they're not sitting there, because the problem is going to be, and I'll warn you now, that these are going to then, if you've got it on your phone, is going to infiltrate your contacts on your phone. I'm really sorry, but that's how it is. So you want to just make sure that you're saving the contact details for the people that you want. Now, once you've deleted them, they've gone and they don't go onto your phone as well. So that's fine. I'm actually going to delete these now because I don't need them I want to do my next training session. So just to show you how you can clean up and clear out your contact list, if I click on just one name, that's when it then comes up with the blue box at the top here. If I click on the side of that, it selects all. I'm then going to delete the whole lot. Bang. And they've gone. But what is left behind are the labels. So I also then want to go and make sure that I delete the labels because those aren't needed anymore either. So you can delete those and you can take it back to what you want. I don't suggest you do that, but that's how you can do it if you really want to. So everything can be undone as well as done easily. So I can import them all again quite easily. I select file and import, and they'll all come back. So that's your contacts. They're all there. They're all done for you. At the end of the year, you see what you may want to do. What we will be doing is we'll be changing the names of the people on the positions. So we've got the job titles here. So what you can do at the end of the year, see, is that we'll ask you to delete last year's contacts, and then we'll have a new contact list for you to be able to put in. So that's how you can delete that contact list. Click on one, it comes up here, select all, and delete. Or you can choose, you don't have to select, or you can choose to save some, save the ones that you want to keep, and delete all the rest, and then they stay there. Now remember, these are staying because I have already starred them, so they come up the top as the starred contacts, and they also feature in my contacts. So don't panic. It's not that anything's gone wrong. It's that they've just been starred, but I'm going to delete them all now. So that's contacts. Now we're going to look at another new tool, which is called Groups. So this is one of the apps that is in Google Suite. With this tool, it's quite good because you can set up a number of groups. We've been playing around with setting some groups up. They're not operational yet. They've just been set up and been tested. We're going to talk people through that shortly. But when you set up a group, you invite people to become members in it that have an IWNZ account. So this is where, as a district executive, you can have your executive team set up as a group. Once you've made the group, you can start conversations, and a new conversation looks just like an email. And when you're sending an email, testing again, just so that the other person that's on this knows that I'm testing. So when you set something, when you send something as an email, I can attach a document to it. I'm going to just drag a document that I had in my inbox on my screen, and it's attached as a document, and then I post the message. So the message then gets posted into the inboxes of the people that are in that group. And then shortly, once it's had a chance to think about it, it will actually appear in the conversation. I'll come back to that in a moment, because I'll take you back to my groups. And I want to create a whole new group. So you would want to create a group for your district. Z297, say, exec. And then what you'll find is that you give the group a name, and then that group name becomes the email address for that group, which is quite cool. I'm going to do this as a test, and then I'll hit next. Once I do that, I can choose who can see this group. So I only want the people that I invite to see this group. I can have it set so that anyone in the organization can ask about it, or anyone in the organization can join the group. So you can have some general groups or some closed groups. So this will be invitation only. And when a group happens, you have your owner, which is the person that starts it. You have assigned managers, and you have assigned members. Then you have the entire organization. So that's anyone that has an IWNZ.org.nz account. So quite often for these groups, you just want it to be anyone up to the group members, not the entire population of the organization, who can view the conversations, who can post in it, and can view who the members are. So then you go next, and then you assign the group members. So you start typing the names of the members. Okay, so you start typing the names of the members in that group, and you then choose who's going to be the owner of the group, which I'm actually going to make, this isn't going to happen, but the person that's setting up becomes the owner. It can be changed by default as well. She's already a member of the group, so I need to make her the owner of the group. So then you choose down the bottom how they receive information, what the information is. So I'm just going to say they're all email because that's the easiest one to do. And then you hit on create group. I'm actually not going to create the group at this stage, because when I create the group, what happens is that an email goes to each person, and then they get a link just like this to find out what group they are a member of. So I've gone into this account for me, and I go to my groups, and these are all the groups that are sitting in there. So I'm going to hit on the test one that I did before, and I sent that message. Well, here it is. It's appeared. Test again, testing for training. So in that message, there's the message, and there is the document that I attached. So how I see this being useful is that if you set up a district exec, or if you are a district ISO and you set up a group for the other club ISOs, then you can be sharing messages. And when you come to an exec meeting, the secretary can say, have you got the reports? Have you got the treasurer's report? Have you got, all the information? And quite often, I don't know about you, but I find that it sits in my Gmail, in my email list, and I then have to scroll through all my emails to try and find it. Well, if it's sitting here in the conversations, all the files are there, all the documents are there. I can save those, download them directly into my Google Drive or onto my computer, and they've got them all there sitting with me. I don't need to worry about trying to find them. I think it's going to be a bit of a game changer for a lot of people to be able to have things in groups. So you've got the capability, each and every one of you that has one of these Google accounts, that you can set up as many groups as you like and have them operating within your circle of how you're going to use it. So that's just a little bit of a new skill and a bit of new fun that you can pick up on. So I hope that all this garbled message and all this garbled training, you've learned something new, and you can look back at this, you can take it slowly, you can play around, you can set up some groups, you can get some conversations going, you can get all your contacts sorted and your Gmails going. So that's all for me for now, and I'll see you at the next training session. Thanks for listening.